I put the spotlight on your city. I put the spotlight on your city. See the superstars. Hollywood to Hollywood. Girl, you look good. Yeah, they hollering, baby. Keep modeling, baby. ATLD. I put the spotlight on your city. Carolina, Philly. I put the spotlight on your city.
Ladies and gentlemen, Spotlight over the city. We are live. My co-host, something else. I am your host, Stan Long, along with the one and only Dana Dane. What's going on, Dana?
Hey, glad to be here. Oh my goodness, he's put the cameras on so fast I couldn't get my laugh out and talk my trash, but
hey, but we here, right?
Glad to be here. Yeah,
I'm glad to see you. Where you been?
This rain is. I almost didn't make it. Had I guessed not had a huge umbrella, I would still be sitting in the car letting you work the first part of the show.
Hey,
because I could not get this hair wet because it's not mine and it's hard to get this stuff straight.
Well, you can just get some more. If it get wet, you just buy you some new hair.
But don't laugh at me.
Just get some new hair. You hear me?
Somebody.
Shout out to you, Dana. I'm proud. I'm so happy to have you back with us because I missed you. You've been gone.
I'm happy to be
doing your
here.
thing, and so we celebrate the fact that you are out doing your thing. But we need you back here. So.
I'm excited to be back. Like I'm glad I'm back. Like everything that I have going on now, it's like I have space. Like my Thursdays are open. I'm back, and if I'm not back for some reason, we know Sassy Ways is gonna be here, and she's definitely gonna hold it down.
Shout out to Sassy Ways. Let me tell you something. I called her everything but Sassy Ways last week.
What did you call her?
Sassy Watts. Sassy kind of mess, man.
You might as well just stick with Sassy.
That's what I got to do.
Yeah,
but I got it now. Sassy Ways. Shout out to Sassy. Hey, let me tell you, she held it down. More than held it down. Actually, she held me down in a major way because I was all over the place, and you know how I be doing sometimes. She was right there in the cut to
great
fill
at what
me in.
she does.
I asked Sassy to look up. We did a special on Black Wall Street last week. She had more information on it than I did when I got here. She was filling me in. Oh yeah, you know at the grocery store they started the. I was like, yeah, she on it.
That's
so
good.
Shout out to you, Sassy. I love you. I'll be glad when you come back as well to be a part of Spotlight over the city because you are a great.
That's right. We love you, Sassy.
So today we have an amazing show.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. All of our shows are amazing. I'm just so excited because I swear, now this is just me, and I'm going to speak my mind and be honest. Ever since we came to Listen Vision Studios, I feel like we have been looking great. We have been popping. We've been looking great. The energy, the producers. I'm so glad we decided to come here. I think this was the best thing we could have done.
And shout out to Jake. Let me tell you about Jacob, though.
Jacob is the coolest.
Jacob is the coolest of the coolest.
Yes,
when I say
he
hold us down every single week, sometimes we don't even have no freaking clips, and Jacob makes them appear like some magic. I don't know how he does it.
And when we talk too much, Jason,
this one right here?
Jacob tells us to be quiet, like wrap it up. You guys have 2 minutes, and sometimes we act like we don't see him, but he's like, cut. So he's on this JOB.
So we love you. Shout out to the whole Listen Vision. Shout out to Jeremy. Shout out to everybody, Morgan, the whole staff. Everybody holds us down. Make sure we shine.
It's like home.
And so yeah, Roscoe Johnson, my man. Guess what? We go back a long way. We started out in Recognized together. He took some acting classes prior to. I didn't do that. So my acting career was short-lived.
It's not too late.
It's not. It's really not. I'm on the director side. But this young man has taken off, so I can't wait to get him up here on the platform. But before we get into it, we got to talk about Word on the Street.
That's right. Let's go.
This right here is, some of it is funny, some of it not so much. I'm going to start off with, let me get my notes together. I wrote this down. I had to talk about this one. Justin Bieber was the easy one. He's not being charged. I talked about it last week. So if you missed it, we thought he was going to be charged with hitting the paparazzi with his truck, leaving the church service. And he had counseled his whole tour situation and got a lot of other stuff, personal stuff going on that I don't really know about. But he wasn't charged.
So it wasn't on purpose?
No, it wasn't on purpose.
Right.
It looked like the paparazzi tried to get a ticket. Mm-hmm. And so even though he's not going to be able to be charged, I still think that the paparazzi guy probably tried to do a lawsuit or something. I forgot what they call it, but most of the time the rich people will settle just to hurry.
But isn't that something how the paparazzi, they just take over, they just invade your privacy and do all of that, and then if you hit them, you're wrong. That's so unfair.
You're definitely wrong. And so I was happy he didn't get charged because like I said, it looked like it was, I showed the video last week. It looked like the guy kind of stepped in
front of the way,
stepped
right?
over there to try to, and then he was like his neck, his back.
Because he probably knew who was driving that car,
He knows
so
exactly.
he's like,
That's
let
why
me
he out
fall
there with
out
the
and try
camera,
to
'cause
get
he
it
know.
back.
Yeah, he know exactly. There you go. Let's see. So next up, Suge Knight. I got a clip about this one. We'll go to the clip and I'll come back right back and talk to, about Suge Knight. Suge Knight is, I don't know what's going on.
He's
with
at it
Suge.
again.
Yes, he's at it again. He is being indicted. He got indicted yesterday for allegedly sending threatening texts to F. Gary Gray. F. Gary Gray is a big producer who produced Straight Outta Compton. And so Suge was in his feelings because he didn't like how he was portrayed in the movie. And he's not getting a bag.
I saw that on the
movie.
news. I saw that on the news when the movie came out.
So he was in his feelings. The indictment, this was struck me strange. The indictment came in February. And so they just served him yesterday. I didn't understand how come it took 6 months.
He
to
might
serve.
intimidate it.
So anyway, we'll go to the
Everybody.
clip. I'll let people check it out for themselves. We'll go to that. You got that clip, Justin? We'll go to that clip and we'll be right. I mean, Jacob. I call him Justin. We'll be right back right after this message. Spotlight over the city. Right after this clip.
Conflicts arising from Straight Outta Compton have sparked a parade of legal nightmares for Marion Suge Knight, the latest of which saw him arraigned in an L.A. courtroom Thursday morning for allegedly threatening that film's director, F. Gary Gray. Knight was indicted in February on a charge of violating California's Penal Code 422A, which involves willful threats to commit a crime which will result in death or great bodily injury to another person. He's also currently awaiting a 2018 trial for the murder of Terry Carter and attempted murder of Clay Bone Sloan, for which Knight pled not guilty.
So as if he wasn't in enough trouble.
Suge.
Come on, Suge. Suge, come on now. I should.
When will he learn?
First of all, your bully day's over. Like, when the barbershop dude knocked you out, I lost respect. Like,
In real life?
yeah, real respect. Hey, am I lying? Did he knock him out? I saw the clip.
Oh, I missed
A
that.
little young dude, he came up. I don't really know what the situation was about, but Suge pressed the dude out for something. I don't know what it was. I guess they had a disagreement. Whatever the case was.
And he knocked him out.
He put his hands on Suge and folded Suge up.
Wow,
In front
I
of
missed
him.
that one.
And so, yeah, I could. And so after that, you can't be a bully after that. Like, you gotta go straighten that out. If you didn't handle that, just relax, do your time. Cause at this point, you already being indicted for murder. Like, okay, now what? What we doing?
When do you learn? When do you just stop and just say, okay, let me get my life together. Let me chill out. Because I wonder how old Suge is.
And that's what I'm thinking. You too old. You know better.
Yeah.
I mean, like at this age, you already know about money. You've had money for quite some time. Even if you lost it, you know what money feels like. So my mind would be on that at that age and stage of like beating this charge, getting out of prison, and revamping my career and doing something with some music or whatever I need to do to get my life straight.
You know, some people will never change.
Well, anyway, I hope it's all alleged. I didn't see the text. But in my mind, Suge, you got to slow down a little bit, Suge. You already facing time. When you going to learn, Suge? You don't want to die in prison. Come on,
so
man.
crazy.
On another note, Ray Lewis is the sellout of the day. I had a lot of respect for Mr. Ray Lewis.
Why did
really
you lose it? Why did you lose it?
Mr. Ray Lewis decided that he was going to make a post, and he was on there talking to Shannon Sharp about Mr. Colin Kaepernick. And he was downplaying Colin, saying you should just basically get over it, Colin. There's no place for that in football, Colin. I'm an Uncle Tom, Colin. Don't do it. Let me dance the jig, Colin. I hated it. I lost total respect for that because Colin Kaepernick, everybody may not agree with his stance, but this is what I don't like. People not addressing why this young man is kneeling, sitting, rolling, whatever.
Right.
You're not addressing the issue. The issue is police brutality is real. Yes, black on black crime is real. So is white on white crime, Asian on Asian crime. If you live in a white community, you're going to get killed by a white man more than likely. If you live in a black community, you're going to be killed by a black man more than likely. This is not like, oh my God, no, that's just the dynamics of the business. If you in a situation in a black community, white people don't come in your community killing. That's just not how it happens. If you in a white community, black people normally don't come in your community killing. They don't be in your community. So that's why the ratio of black on black crime is no different than white on white crime, Asian on Asian crime. So I'm not knocking it. I'm not downplaying it. But what I am saying is Ray Lewis, for him to stand up and say, you're wasting your time, Colin Kaepernick. You shouldn't do this. Just play football. Our sanctuary is the football field, and that's foolishness. And that's when you lost me.
Oh,
when you called it foolishness.
You think so? I mean,
yeah, I want your opinion. You my co-host.
no,
Come on, let's air
you
it
know
out
I'm
a little bit.
gonna give it to you.
Yeah, give it to me.
I
What you think?
I think maybe I don't think it's all bad with him saying that because. I mean, really, it is football. Like, okay, you feel the way you feel. Your views are the way your views are your views. That's just like if we go to work. If you have a 9-to-5 job, you go to work. You might not like your boss, but you're going to hold that in. You're not going to just keep doing dumb stuff at work in front of your boss because you feel the way you feel. Sometimes you just have to suppress how you feel for certain situations. Like, you're there to play football. Leave your feelings, leave your beliefs off the field and play football. I just feel like it's a lot of extra attention, a lot of extra mess when he can just can it and play football. So I have to disagree.
Kind of agree with Ray.
I have to disagree.
Okay,
with
so
you.
you had that right, and I respect you guys' opinion, but now this is what I see the difference in. If you had a problem with your boss, like if you had a problem with the person in the league or your supervisor, somebody who hired you, I get it, but that's not his problem. He still want to play football. If he wasn't who he was, him kneeling wouldn't matter. If he worked at General Motors, nobody cares if he kneeled. See, so that's what the power of it is. That's why he's using his power to actually get people to see the problem. It was never about him kneeling.
Is that going to change anything? Is that going to?
It's a worldwide attention getter. Everybody in the country knows about him kneeling and why he's kneeling. And the whole public is on board with it, whether it's this side or that side. It's being talked about in the media. That's why we media and we talk about it. So I don't agree, and I guess we'll agree to disagree and move on. Right. But I really believe that he's a modern day hero to me for what he's doing because he knew he was going to take a hit in the NFL, and he still decided to take a stance. And just like Muhammad Ali did, and just like a lot of other athletes use their power to do. Joe Louis, a lot of people have done it, and I believe that it's necessary today because regular citizens don't seem to matter. So maybe if we could get the general public in a mass level to see the problem and not just in your community, then maybe it would help. That's what I say.
I get your point on that.
So, but I get your point as well. So, moving on. This shocked me. This just came to me today. Kid Creole of Grandmaster Flash. Remember Grandmaster Flash?
Yeah. You had to do that for me to remember it.
You seen that? You seen how?
Yeah, I remember.
But it worked though, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Okay, so guess what he did?
What?
He done messed around and got charged with murder. And it was on a humble. This is how life can change for you. He's on his way to work.
On his way to work, for real.
Physically go to work. And a young man, a homeless man, was drunk and impeded him and started, giving him problems. And so he ended up, one thing led to another. I don't know the whole story because it's fresh. And he ended up stabbing the guy to death.
So just he's like going to work and carrying a knife with him.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what community he's coming from. I don't know how far he had to walk. I don't know if he felt threatened or whatever. I don't know what the case was, why he had a knife or where he got the knife. But I know he used the knife, and he's now being charged for murder and has been arrested. I was like, wow, because he's an older cat too.
Some people will never learn.
I mean, but these things can happen.
Especially if you're carrying a knife.
Happen,
if you didn't have a knife, maybe it wouldn't have happened.
So now think about it. If you don't have a knife and you're being threatened on your way to work, what if
was he threatened with a gun or was somebody just talking trash? Sometimes when people just talking trash, you just have to walk away.
Walk away
so
used
you
to
don't
sound
end up
good
in jail.
back in the day. Walking away, but the problem is when another person is not walking away on their mind. Then
if they don't have a weapon, though, is my whole thing. If they don't have a weapon, and you didn't say that the person pulled out a gun or a knife, you just said he pulled out a knife and he's going to jail. So had he not had a knife, maybe he would be home with his family.
And maybe he would be also dead, maybe, if this person was, you don't know what this person possessed and you don't know why he even pulled out a knife. And I don't either. But I'm saying that to say, I've been in a situation on more than one occasion, unfortunately, that a weapon was necessary. I'll just say that. And if I did not have a weapon to defend myself, then I may not be sitting here on this platform.
Did the other person have a weapon?
Yes.
Okay, so that's a fair fight.
And but I didn't go into it knowing that this person had a weapon. Right. But I'm a just in case type of person. That's how I think. So in other words, I was prepared, but it ended up bad.
Well, thank goodness you learned from your mistakes and you've grown since then. So when you talk about people his age, sometimes you have to get past your mentality of what it once was when you were younger. So that's
very true. So my I would say this to everybody young. We're gonna move on because we got to get to it. I will say this: if you have to go somewhere where you definitely feel you need a weapon, think twice about going.
You shouldn't be there.
It took me 49 years to get this point, but because I used to feel like I shouldn't not be able to go where I want to, and I should be able to basically go and do. but you have to think a little bit because trouble costs, young men and women. Trouble costs. I'm going to tell you, if you got them lawyer fees popping off and you got to make bond and get bailed out of jail, it's going to cost you some money. Just know that.
And it's not worth it.
And it's not worth it. So moving on. Erica Mena. Erica Mena from Love and Hip Hop had to put her hands on a young man. Actually, they had a conference, an altercation, and the young man made her feel away. And I guess you know Erica Mena. You remember her?
Yeah, I do.
So I never understood how Bow Wow could even deal. I thought he was too soft for her from day one.
Yeah, I remember.
As a couple, I was surprised. Did that surprise you at all?
No, because all of that stuff it's just a
fluff.
joke to me. Yeah,
It's just a bunch of fluff.
Mm-hmm. That's how I feel anyway. It might not be, but through my eyes, yeah, pretty much.
Hey, it's Hollywood. You know?
And they're getting paid for it, so
They
more
getting
power
paid
to them. I'm
for
not
it.
mad at them. I would love to be on a show, but I just can't act a fool. I couldn't. And that's hard to be on a reality show these days without them expecting you to act a fool or setting up situations that will cause you to act a fool. So I'll just lean back from that mess.
So we'll let our guests speak. What y'all getting? Y'all, we got a call-in number today. I gotta hook up our call-in number, you guys. So second half, we'll get you guys calling in a little bit. But right now, we're gonna go to a commercial. We're gonna bring up our
And then
first
we'll
guest.
be back
I
with
definitely
our
didn't mean to
great guest.
downplay our other guests either. We have two guests, you guys, two amazing guests. by
Everett
the
Browning
way.
Sr. And I just want you all to know, you heard me just say Everett Browning Sr., but soon we're going to be saying Senator Browning.
I like that.
Stay tuned. Spotlight over the city.
Spotlight
we'll be
over
right
the city.
back.
From New York, Ebro in the morning on Hot 97.
I want to play you some audio of Ray Lewis. This
Do we
is
have
him.
to?
Yes, he
Is it
released,
Muhammad Ali or Ray Lewis?
He released this video on social media yesterday, basically telling Colin Kaepernick to stop protesting.
So while people talking about what's this and why Ray said this,
No,
why
that's
Bob said
Muhammad
that,
Ali.
Ray
Run
ain't
the other
saying
clip.
nothing. And if people really want to help you, they'll pray for you, brother. They'll lead you the right way and stop encouraging you to be caught up in some of this nonsense. The battles you fighting, brother, people way before us been fighting these for many, many, many years. And that's why I take each and every one of these kids, and that's why I take them away from their environments and give them something else to see in life. And that's why I played the way I played. The football field is our sanctuary. If you do nothing else, young man, get back on the football field and let your play speak for itself. And what you do off the field, don't let too many people know, because they going to judge you anyway, no matter what you do, no matter if it's good or bad. All right? Cap, be good. Take care of yourself. Brother for life. A lot of people talking for you. A lot of people got your back.
Listen, it's me, Ray Lewis, Muhammad Ali. And when I get you in the ring, you gonna call me
And why does he
king.
talk like
you
that?
hear me, Kaepernick?
Yo, wait, why does he talk like that?
Because he's preaching. All right? You just pray at home. Well, listen.
I don't even know what to say to Ray Lewis right now, other than hit him with the congratulations.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Yo, Ray Lewis, B. Colin Kaepernick is not harming anyone. Just because he did something that polarizes people does not mean Colin Kaepernick should bitch up. And by the way, let's keep in mind, it's not like Colin's out here running around doing interviews.
No, not at all. He's just doing incredible things for his community
That's
and
it.
his people. That's it. And people who care are covering it. It's not like he's holding press conferences about everything that he's doing.
Although I'll tell you what,
It's so ridiculous.
Sometimes I think he should do a few more interviews.
And say what?
Just exactly what his goals are.
But he's already said it.
He's showing
been
you
a
what
long
his
time.
goals are. He's showing you.
I hear you.
I swear. Ladies and gentlemen, Spotlight of the City. We are back with the one and only Roscoe Johnson, a.k.a. Malik Styles, a.k.a. Get It Done, a.k.a. Mr. Actor of the Year. What's going on, boss?
Thank you, man. What an introduction. I appreciate it.
Right,
Glad
that was
to be
hot.
here.
Hey,
We're
man,
glad
it's
to
a
have
pleasure
you.
to have you on board, man.
Yeah.
So let's get right to it. Acting. What made you first want to get into acting? Because I know you from here, but I met you in Atlanta on a set, actually. So what made you say, you know what, I'm going to become an actor?
Well, I, raised my kids in Atlanta since I left D.C. in 2004 and started taking classes, man, around 2010. And, I just was kind of bored with the blue-collar life and say, I know I have talent and I want to, hone these skills, whatever it may be. So it just ended up being acting. And not long after that, maybe a year after that, we got recognized, And
Exactly.
that's
Shout
where
out
we
to
met.
Terry Miles,
That's
director
right. Hey,
of
Terry.
Recognize 1 and 2. What's happening?
Yeah.
So you just, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. So you just woke up one day and said, I want to be an actor, or
Well,
what made you
I think I
decide
have
to go that
many
path?
talents, you know, but acting was definitely an easier entry. You know, I
Right.
figure I can. Atlanta's blowing up. They calling it Hollywood South
Right.
now. So you know, I said I'm gonna find me a class and just start taking classes. And ironically, a year later, you know, I was offered a role as Big Grip in Recognized.
Oh, okay.
You played a good part too. It was a short-lived part.
Short-lived.
Yeah, they done killed my man off. They killed me off in part two too.
But I mean, it was really still a good look because the movie actually was about my character.
Yep.
You know, and
That's right.
my girl ended up handling business at the end. So,
Yeah, I'm the
you
one
know.
took it. I went and took it
Yeah,
to handle
yeah,
that
yeah.
business.
My man took it.
I went and handled that for you, bro.
Yeah, I
So
appreciate
yeah,
it.
man, we had a great time on set. It was a great thing. Like Terry let me ad lib my whole part.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool. I didn't never even learn the script.
I was down there for the premiere.
Mm-hmm.
Terry's a good friend of mine too. So
Yeah.
we went down to Atlanta for the premiere and had a good time. A little after party and all that.
Yeah.
Were y'all there?
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know you.
I
Didn't
know.
know you either. Yeah, it was
we
fun.
all
It was
together.
nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was really
So
nice.
yeah, so after Recognize, I've seen a lot of your other accolades. Like
Yeah, I mean, you know, eventually I got an agent, you know, and that's something that I kind of didn't plan, man. It really did. I just stayed with it. And once I got representation, I mean, it just took off from there. The first thing I did was a show called Game of Silence.
Game of Silence.
On NBC. It was with Lorenz Tate and a few other big celebrities. But, you know, that right there was short-lived, too, because it was canceled one season.
Yeah.
So, you know, I thought it was going to be it still was a good look. It's
I was
NBC.
going to say you did it.
The opportunity,
NBC,
even
you
if
know
you
what I'm
just had
saying?
one shot
Yeah,
on
yeah.
one of those episodes, it's a chance for one person to see you
Right.
and say, I want him to be in this or
Yeah.
that. And that's just
Yeah.
as simple as that.
Exactly.
How long have you been acting?
How
many years now?
7, a little more than 7 years.
And it's so funny that you said that. You said it was short-lived, but just think about it. I know some people that have been acting they've been in school, taking
Right.
classes. They've been
Right.
doing this I know they've been doing it for years and years and years, and they still haven't made it on a network yet. So that's still big.
I mean, that's been a blessing. I mean, it's been about 9 networks so far. You know,
That's
it's
the
been
bomb.
Fox, CW, OWN. You know, I
making your
just did
way.
an episode of Haves and Have-Nots recently.
Oh, okay.
A new show on VH1, Daytime Divas. There's another show coming
Oh, that's
too.
the one you were telling me about, Stan.
Yeah, daytime.
Okay.
I wasn't familiar with it until he told me about it.
Yeah, it's another new show that's coming off the Marvel franchise. They're actually doing something for television called Heaven. And I just shot an episode of that as well. And I mean, it's been good, man. It's been
So
good.
you've
to
been
me.
working steady.
Yeah,
Right.
steady, and that's the goal. To
That's
being
the
a
goal.
working actor.
Was
you
it
know?
hard for you to get an agent? Or you said it just kind of happened. How did it happen?
Well, it kind of happened for me because the dean of the school that I was attending is called Actors Breakthrough, and you guys would know the dean as Uncle Mac on Greenleaf. That's Greg Allen Williams.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he basically started Allen Artists, a new agency, because it was hard for a lot of people to get representation in Atlanta because it's like 5 major agencies. So, you know, when he presented the opportunity, you know, I said, well, why not sign where I'm studying, you know?
So
And it
would you
worked
tell
out.
people watching right now, if they're into acting or trying to break into acting, you need that?
You definitely need representation. Most cases, you got to audition for an agent, and of course, if they don't see value in you, if they don't see they can make money off
Right,
you,
exactly.
you're not getting.
Right,
It don't matter how much
exactly.
talent you think you have. So,
Right.
you know, once you got representation, they do all the work. You just got to be prepared and
Right.
ready. You know.
So that's why they make sure you're talented enough for them to put the work in, because
Right.
they actually represent you.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
before
Right.
they see you,
Right.
they already spoke on you, and so you're supposed to be able to deliver.
Exactly.
I
And
guess
if
that's
you
like
don't
just
book,
like a
they
manager of
don't-
any
yeah.
type. Like, I don't want to work with you if you can't bring money in. Like,
Exactly. They
That's
look at
because
you like a
if you're
dollar
a good,
sign.
if you're a good agent or you're a good manager, you know what you can do, but you can only do so much unless your client is good. Like, you know,
Right.
if he knows that, oh, he's a great actor, so I know what I can do. I'm getting ready to get some money. If I help him
Right.
get money, I eat. So
Right. Right.
So Tales, let's talk a bit about Tales. That's a heck of a cast.
Yeah.
First of all, it's different cast.
Different.
That's what I'm learning.
yeah, tell us about it because I
Different
wasn't-
cast because kind of like Tales from the Crypt. You know, it's different topics. It's going to be different casts. It's an anthology series. So everything is going to be different. No one, you may or may not see the same person in a future episode, but it's going to be a totally different subject matter.
How did you get that? I know Irv Gotti is producing now. How did you get
Yeah, and at the time when I auditioned, I didn't know that Irv Gotti was producing it. And, you know, my agent sent me the audition, and 90% of the auditions today are put on tape. So you rarely walk in the room. Yeah, you rarely walk in the room these days. So I did it. I, you know, sent the tape in, and a lot of times people don't book the role from the tape audition.
Okay.
They still want you to come in the room and do it in front of the producers, the directors, or whatever. But yeah, I sent it in and I booked straight off a tape. And then at the table read, that's when they bring them in. That's your EP. Irv Gotti, I'm like, wow, you know, I mean,
so
where
you
this
didn't
guy
even
been?
know until that moment.
Yeah,
So
till the table read.
Even when you got the part, you still didn't know.
I didn't know until we got to the table read.
So did you know Benny Boone was? Shout out to Benny Boone too. Benny Boone has been around for a long time, all the way in the video days.
And just directed the Tupac movie.
Yeah?
Yeah, he directed that.
Oh, yeah, he sure did.
Yeah.
Okay, shout out to Benny Boone. And so when I saw that, I was like, this is going to be heavy. Like, this is a good cast. Lorenz Tate.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it's so many people in this thing, man, that, I mean, if you turn your head, you're going to miss it. You know what I mean? It's a whole bunch, because it starts back up in October.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they got picked up for another season.
Well, it's actually one season. He kind of split it up. He did 3 episodes.
Okay.
And BET wanted to do some other things. It's also going to be aired on Tidal, you know, on Jay-Z's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's going to be uncut on Tidal, because, you know, BET is only going to allow so much.
Right.
You know, but it's raw.
So the raw dog gonna be on Tidal.
Outtakes and everything.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's a big thing for you. Like, I'm proud of you, man, because like I said, I saw how, see, it was just something for me to do.
Right.
Like, honestly,
right.
I didn't take acting serious.
Right.
I got my part wasn't a major role, but it was a decent role in both movies. Of course, they killed me as well. But you took it serious. Like, I remember talking to you on set, and you was like, yeah, man, I'm taking acting classes. And I was like, for real? Because you was probably the only one
right.
on the whole movie set that was actually taking acting classes. Not that people wasn't taking it seriously. It's just that we wasn't taking classes.
Right,
You know?
right,
So I saw it helped you, too, because when you played Big Grip, you played Big Grip. Like, it was believable. Like, you know, it was like, yeah, he got some experience. You could see it.
I mean, it was funny because Terry called me and he was like, man, look, I got a role for you, but you're going to have to die. I said, well, I don't mind dying to live. You know what I mean?
Right,
It's gonna give me some life.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly. So shout out to Terry again, because that did kind of give us all some
Yeah,
type
it gave
of,
us a
know,
good look.
credibility. He gave us them IMDb credit. Was it
IMDb?
Credits. So that was a plus. You know?
Yeah, and it's like a cult classic, man. I mean, you can watch it on YouTube, the full movie.
The full movie. It was in Red Box for quite some
Did
time.
real
But Django
well.
is holding
Did
his own.
really
Django,
well in Red
one of the
Box.
best independent films in Red Box ever.
Exactly.
One of the only independent.
Yeah.
Actually, haven't been a whole lot. So yeah. So shout out to him for that. That was innovative.
I have another question because I'm getting into acting too. I've been doing a little bit of stuff.
Right,
Like I had my first lead speaking role on TV One coming up September 11th. So I started taking acting classes for about a month, and then I stopped. And I'm going on auditions now, and I'm getting work slowly but surely.
Right.
So do you think that it's imperative to take acting classes?
Yes.
Like I
and
definitely
yes.
should.
Yes. I mean, even your A-list, B-list actors still do some kind of studying in some form. They may do workshops, or they may go back to a teacher that they studied under to continue to, stay sharp. Because it's always changing. So it's definitely, especially with new actors, though. I mean, you can't think, everybody thinks they can do this. You know what I mean? Until it's time to do this.
Right.
So, I mean, it's definitely imperative.
And I guess I'm getting serious, so I'm like, okay, you know what?
Yeah.
I didn't expect to get that lead speaking role, but
Right.
And then afterwards, the director pulled me aside when it was a wrap for the day. She said, "You are great. Keep going." So I
Right.
said, you know what? I really want to take it seriously. Like
You
I'm
got a
getting ready
great
to do some
look,
stage
too,
acting.
so,
Thank
yeah,
you. So
take it serious.
I'm definitely, especially from hearing you now.
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to take.
Yeah, I
this
think
acting
you
class.
should, Dane. I'm proud of you. I see that you have the energy for it. Like, I don't know, you wear me out, make me tired looking at what
I
you
know
do.
I'm doing so much,
But it's good. Yeah, she runs around and got 50 projects and this and that. And,
Right.
But
and now and you know my mind is always on business, right? And with my stage play, I don't have my leading character. Like my stage play is going to rock the nation. When I say nation, it's going on a national tour. I had a great meeting today, and I'm thinking about the husband, and I'm looking at your look like you would be perfect. So I just want to talk to you for a few minutes when this is over. Definitely.
Spotlight of the City is the plug.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like,
Yeah.
So real quick, because we got another guest, but I wanted to ask you a few more questions before you go. First of all, what's your short term when it comes to your goals in acting and the whole nine? What's your short term and then long term goal?
Well, just continue to stay consistent with booking. You know, if it's co-star roles or whatever for now until the reoccurrings come, the movies come, I'm definitely going to tap into some commercials, you know, because all of this is like necessary. I'm even going to do some voiceover. So, but ultimately, when it's all said and done, I'm going to get behind the camera as well.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So that's your ultimate long term?
Ultimate long term. Absolutely. I mean, not that I'm going to stop being in front of it, but I definitely want to. I'm a creative person. So, you know, being an artist, I got to let it all out, you know.
Right. So when we first met, I seen the locks and stuff.
Yeah.
Next time I saw you, had a regular haircut. So is this movie situation something that made you have to cut your hair and do?
I struggled with that for a minute, but I cut it because I couldn't do like military roles and stuff like that. Right. So I didn't want to be put in a box. I mean, since I've cut my hair, I've played cops, you know, on Fox, on Sleepy Hollow. Right. You know, I was a police officer. Roles that I know I wouldn't have got with the hair.
Right.
I saw you in the uniform. I was like, well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
And then I saw you was acting. I was like, okay, he just acting.
Right.
You know, real police. He didn't get police.
Right. Because
anybody
who knows me.
But
But
I know
anybody
you
who
though.
knows me, I'm a little far away from being a law enforcement. Yeah. But it definitely helped tremendously, man. Just a week ago, I was on set of a new show that's coming to the CW network called Valor, and it's a military-based show. I play a retired military guy. So, I mean, just to be able to do the things that I've done so far,
that's pretty tough.
More than half of it I couldn't do if I had the hair, sadly.
Yeah. But it's the reality.
It's the reality.
And so when you was big enough to say, okay, my career is bigger than my hair
yes, sir.
now.
Got to make the sacrifice.
I can always grow it back if necessary.
If necessary.
Well, I like that, though.
And they can always create that look as well, is what I tell people. They can't hide the hair, but they can create that look. If they want me to have dreadlocks to the floor, they can do it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. Weird.
Yeah.
All right, man. We got to wrap it up because, of course, we got another guest coming up. But I definitely appreciate you. I want you to plug everything that you have, whatever you want to plug, your social medias, your next appearances, whatever you have.
Yeah. Again, it's Roscoe Johnson, also known as Malik Styles, my social media. Malik Styles on Facebook, M-Style, S-E-N-T on Instagram. And look for me in a few new projects, man. Just keep your TV on, basically.
Right. I know.
Keep it on. So shout out to Benny Boom again. Shout out to Herb Gotti, the whole project. Shout out to you for coming through. I appreciate you because, of course, you don't even live in D.C. anymore. You all the way in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So you took the time out to come
showing
here.
us
So
love.
we appreciate you
You
coming out and
guys,
showing
thanks
us
for
love.
having me.
So we'll go to the Tails clip on your way out. And thanks again, man. You got any social media?
I just plugged the social media. Give a little shout out to my guy, Bruce Blackshear. He's the guy who helps me. We help each other. Iron sharpens iron.
That's what's up.
He's another actor. You probably have him on the show soon.
Okay, cool.
Good guy, good brother. And Greg Allen Williams, the dean of Actors Breakthrough, and he's my mentor as well, big bro.
All right. Well, thanks for coming through Spotlight Over the City.
Thank you.
And she's gonna
Don't
definitely want to get in. She's definitely want to get some information from you because she's the next superstar.
Thank you.
Spotlight Over the City. We'll be right back after this clip from Tails.
Don't you go anywhere.
What up, it's Breezy, man. I play the role of Ty in Tails episode Children's Story.
I'm Nafisa Williams, and I play Jenny Davis on the first episode of Tails, F the Police.
What's up, I'm Lance Gross, and I play Reggie in the Trap Queen episode of Tails.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Freeman. I play Ashley Santone on Story to Tell. Very different from the last time people saw me as being like a child, a teenager. You know, I have my first love scene in this, so I think it's like a reintroduction to the woman, Jennifer.
This is Woody McClain, and I'm playing Slim.
My name is Michelle Hayden, and I play Leslie Vargas in Tales, a Cold Hearted episode.
What's going on? My name is Christian Robinson. I play the role of Brendan Foster Jr., aka Little Tank, in the Cold Hearted episode of Tales.
Hey, what's up? I'm Keith Powers, and I play Gutta. Our episode is kind of fun because it's like a law.
Spotlight over the city. We are back, and we have your host, the man with the master plan, Stan Long.
Who's that? Who? What?
You the man with the master plan. I'm just a
No,
little
we have a
co-host.
great guest. Let's
I'm
get
just
right
a
to
little
it. We have
co-host.
another super guest today.
We sure do, and his name is, drum roll please, Everett Browning Sr.
Yes.
It's great to
Yes.
have you. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much.
You're so crazy. It's great to have you. How you doing today?
I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be here, and I thank you for the opportunity to be here and for all you doing to being a voice for the community.
It is our pleasure, and I want to thank you for walking to my car with that huge umbrella, because I might not be here. I might still be sitting in my car had you not had that umbrella.
Yeah,
because
it was a tsunami.
the host didn't have an umbrella.
I'm
appreciate
sorry. I
that.
don't own an umbrella. I'm
That's okay.
sorry. I
That's
don't.
okay.
I got hats.
Can you introduce yourself to everyone of our viewers? Tell them who you are.
My name is Everett Browning Sr. I'm a candidate for State Senate for Maryland, District 24, and that's Prince George's County. I'm retired U.S. Navy Chief Petty Officer. I'm an Iraq and Afghanistan war veteran. I'm currently a business owner. I'm the Vice President of the 100 Black Men of Prince George's County. I'm a father of 3 kids who are now out of college. And most importantly, I'm a community leader who realized that it was time for someone to step up. And just complaining on Facebook or complaining in barbershop wasn't enough, that no one else was coming to save us, and that it was time for us to take control of our communities.
Good God.
I
Because
love it.
guess
Oh,
what?
I
That was my
already
first
love
question.
it. I already like him already.
My
This is
first
what I'm talking
Guess
about.
what my first question was, Everett? My first question was, tell us about the mini size of Everett Browning Sr. And you just, I didn't even have to ask. Thank
Right.
you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So tell everybody watching, what is your role? What do you do as being the Vice President of 100 Black Men of Prince George's County?
Being over the mentoring program, my job is to design and implement the mentoring program for our kids in our community. A lot of times people talk about Prince George's County, as they should, as being one of the most affluent and educated communities for African Americans in the country. However, there are a lot of people who are struggling. And a lot of time, unfortunately, in black neighborhoods, even our household, we try to hide the bad stuff. We try to sweep it under the rugs and pretend that it doesn't exist. But unfortunately, our school system ranks near the bottom. We have the highest foreclosures in the state. Our crime rate is almost tripling this year. And so the focus is, and we pay the highest taxes of anybody in the state.
Yes.
So the question is, what do we do to make sure that 20 years from now, that Prince George's County is still a neighborhood where our kids and grandkids can grow up and be happy? How do we make sure that the only thing that we own is not just our homes and our cars, but that we own property and businesses, and that we have a say, not just a seat at the table, but a say at the table?
I love it.
I do too.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm voting.
Thank you.
So we're already gonna declare you that next person.
Yeah, you see, I keep saying that
Because,
when I was sharing this post. You see, when I tagged you in, and I was like, okay, this will be the next senator. So
Yes.
it will start getting used to saying senator. Well, will we say senior? Will we say Senator Browning Senior, or will we just say Senator Browning? Will we
Senator
put the
Browning.
senior on there?
The funny thing, I say senior a lot. My father's name is Everett Browning, but we have different middle names.
Okay.
And so I put the senior in the end because I want to make sure that I'm identifying who I am, and at the same time, the proud legacy of him, my grandfather, and my son for the name. And senior is important to me because a lot of times there's a stigma out here that black men aren't proud of or claiming their children. So I want people to know that I have a son and I have daughters, and I'm very proud of them, and they are the reason to save my life. I will let you know I have 3 kids, and I had all 3 of my kids before I turned 20 years old.
All 3 before 20?
Before I turned 20 years old, and I joined the military, and my kids saved my life. And I was a single parent for 7 years, raising my kids. Wow. And what that did for me was teach me responsibility, traveling around the world with my kids. And now, like I say, my kids are out of college. My youngest son is in law school now, and my daughters are in grad school. And the focus is, we tell people that if you come from certain neighborhoods, or if you come from certain backgrounds, that your destiny is written. And that if you're not born into money or if you don't have a certain education, you can't lead. So me running, my main goal is to open that door and let you know you don't have to be chosen. You don't have to come from the right place to lead our neighborhood. We keep on expecting people who don't know our streets and know our families to do the right thing by us. They have their own agenda, and it's not for us to succeed.
Right. Whoa.
Man, listen, when I tell you you a strong voice, I'm proud of you as a man, though, listening to you as a man. It doesn't even have anything to do with your seat, your political position. Just you as a person and the things that I'm just hearing you say makes me proud to say, you know what, this young man is on the ball.
Thank you, brother. It means a lot.
I love it. Anything that I can do, we can do over here at Spotlight. You got a home here. You want to come here and talk about issues, whatever the case is, we'll open up the platform and let you do that on a wider scale.
That means a
That's
lot.
necessary.
And the education far as politics is one thing that's missing a lot in the African American community. Sometimes we get so caught up in what's happening in the White House down the street that we forget that our budgets, our schools, our police, our taxes, all those things are controlled by our local politicians, and most people can't tell you who their county council person is, what district they live in, who are their delegates, who are their senators. But those are people who decide how much money your school gets, what job opportunities come, who's the police chief. They choose a superintendent. So it's important for us to, I want to work with people, community voice leaders like yourselves, to make sure we start educating people on why you need to vote, and not just vote. Once someone's in office, they work for you.
Right.
And if anybody works for you, you hold them accountable. I know, I tell her, if you had a hairdresser and she messed your hair up, you would be like, wait a minute, we got to talk about this.
Right.
You can't just keep messing my hair up because you got the shop.
Right.
And what we do, we hire these people and they work for us and we pay their salary and we don't check on them.
But I don't think we know how to, that's a good point you're making. I don't think we understand how to use that power. Like, how, if a person is not doing their job in any legislation, how do we say, okay, enough is enough? We want to remove you. How do we take those steps to remove that person?
The first thing we have to do, we have to make sure we have the information on how to contact our public officials. It's all online, but people don't know. It's like, where do you live? Who was responsible for you? I challenge everyone to go online and by the end of the day, find out what district do I live in?
Right.
Who's my city council? Who's my county council? Who's my delegates? What's their number? What's their email? What's their Facebook? And contact them and say, I want a meeting. And if they don't call you back or contact you back, that lets you know how much they respect who you are.
Right, exactly.
Right. As a
And then if you can get 100 people together to go to a party, to go to a barbecue, to come out, get those same people together and start signing a petition. Let them know what you want. A lot of times we just say we want better. Well, what is better? We want better schools. We have to become more specific in our needs and our demands. That's the only way we can walk to the table. Just say, well, we want to get this person in office. Well, the next person will be the same person if you don't say what you expect from your elected officials.
Right. That makes
Hold them
sense.
accountable, yes.
That makes sense. When did you decide that you wanted to run for Maryland State Senate for District 24?
You know, the funny thing about it was one day I was just mad and I was sitting around and I was saying, do we live here? And I was mentoring some young men. And the sad thing about it, I was dropping the kids off and I realized I've just spent 4 hours with these kids telling them about being respectful, about, being a positive person. But then I dropped them off and realized I'm putting them right back in the war zone. People say sometimes these kids, the way they act is a result of PTSD. And I noticed that in the military, man, you don't treat PTSD in a war zone because those same instincts of being on edge and being nervous, they help you survive. And that toughness and that meanness these kids have, that helps them survive where they are. And here I was trying to disarm them and send them back home because I'm saying, well, this is how you got to be in the real world. But that was their real world. And so I realized the best thing I can do for these kids is to change these communities.
So that's when
I decided it's time to step up. And so first thing I did, I tried to reach out to the current people. And they weren't interested in the communities. They just, if it didn't make money for them, if it didn't help them get reelected, they didn't care.
That's right.
They didn't even know about the problems. They didn't understand that the homeless shelters, there's so many elderly people in Prince George's County going to homeless shelters because the taxes go up, they're on fixed incomes, and they can't afford their homes.
Yeah, or medication or anything.
Medication or anything, and no one talks about those things because we flash them the MGM. We flash them the FBI's coming, and we don't worry about, well, we're going to build all these new residential homes, but knowing that the people who live there can't afford it. I mean, you guys know what happened in D.C. Yep. You see the gentrification. Community improving shouldn't mean that community changes colors.
Yeah,
and so that's what's definitely happening.
That's
in
exactly
DC.
what's happening, and there's nothing wrong. I believe in being diverse, but I also believe in, like you say, community. A lot of these elderly people are being forced out of their homes because the taxes are being raised on their property because of what we call regentrification.
Yes,
and so it's by design. Anything 3 to 5 miles out from downtown is definitely going to happen to you. You know what I'm saying? It's built in. I'm in the real estate, so I understand that game, and they've been playing it for a while. But it's not just Washington D.C. It's every city in the United States is facing regentrification.
Yes.
And this is what they're doing. They're pushing you out. So when you want fixed income, you can't afford that house anymore.
You can't at all. And I must admit, a lot of people, I became comfortable with my life. I was like, well, my kids aren't in that school system, so why should I care about it? My rent is paid, so why should I care about those who didn't? My mom was good, and I realized that was the selfishness of not realizing all those who sacrificed for me without even knowing me.
Right.
I think about my grandfather and the people who came before me. They knew working hard and sacrificing, they going to be rich, but they thought about down the line. Right. And so one of my main focuses, I call generational wealth. Building that infrastructure of giving opportunities, not just giving jobs, but giving careers, to make sure that we don't tell a kid just because you ain't going to college, you're not going to be successful. Mm-hmm. I live in a neighborhood where I have a couple former NBA players and NFL players, but the biggest house on my block belongs to a plumber who owns his own plumber company. And tell these young men that, hey, if you get in a trade and you get in these unions, life is all right.
It's way all right.
I love what he said.
Yep.
We always say that. Yep. We've had this conversation.
We talk about it to where they need to do it in high school. They need to have classes in high school and teach you finances. Right. Once you get the money, they need to teach you how to invest in assets and not liabilities and all that kind of stuff. But I love what you're saying.
Yeah, and I think this is so necessary. I think parents need to instill that in their kids, because I look at myself now. If I had parents that were like me, like I'm an entrepreneur, I don't want to work for anybody. So I talk to my nieces and nephews, because I don't have kids. I talk to my nieces and nephews about being an entrepreneur. I feel like parents should tell their kids at a young age, when you tell them to go to college, okay, push college, but also push in their minds that they can be creative, they can be business owners, they can be CEOs, they can be entrepreneurs. Teach them that at the same time. Some of them might say, I want to go to college. Some of them might say, I'm not built for college. And who knows? They might become a CEO before they leave high school. I just think the parents and the schools should start instilling those values in kids, that you can be successful, you can be happy without going to college. Not knocking college, but I didn't go to college and I'm good. My brother didn't go to college. He works for Bob Johnson. He's a regular contributor on CNBC. Yes. He's good. So I know a lot of people. Most of the people that are very wealthy and are CEOs that I know didn't go to college.
Or either they dropped out of college or whatever. Not to say you shouldn't go.
I'm not knocking college.
But
I'm not knocking.
Yeah, I know. But when I'm piggybacking off what you're saying, because if you do go to college, I believe you should have a purpose for college. Understand why you in school. Why are you there? If you don't understand that, you're going to work somewhere that you didn't go to school for. You're going to come out of school with a $200,000 debt, and you're going to be working somewhere trying to pay this debt. And you're not going to even be in the field that you went to school
and I tell people, I tell people a lot of times that the stigma of went into the military, and out of the military, I was in the intel field, I was a cryptologist. And the thing I realized was, you got to grind with a purpose. And
Wait. Go. Let's back up a little bit. Cryptologist.
I apologize.
What is a cryptologist? You need to break it down for me. I'm a little
basic
slow.
Cryptologist, encryption and decryption. That's all it was. Making code, breaking code.
I
apologize for that.
Okay. No, you're good.
And the funny thing about
I'm honest enough to say I don't.
And the thing about it was, I realized things like that comes easy to a lot of African Americans. We're always we figure things out fast.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell people all the time, if you give the how you raise the bar for these kids, they will reach it.
They will.
And I know you know the problem is, but a lot of parents on here, unfortunately, they don't have the knowledge to tell their kids to be entrepreneurs. So they're scared to tell their kids to dream because they're afraid to say they don't know. And so I know with the 100 Black Men or any programs, we try to bring the parents in. And so my biggest message is, this is not about politics. You don't have to have a platform. You don't have to be in politics to be a leader. We need to stop complaining and assuming because we post something on Facebook, anybody cares. Just because you got followers don't mean you're making a difference. Exactly. What are you doing? And it's a big problem. I can't fix it all. No one can fix it all. But every day try to do something. Go down to the school and say, can I volunteer? Go get some people together and clean up a neighborhood. Do something to make sure people go to your city and county council's meeting. Ask the questions about your neighborhood. We have more power than we know, and then make sure that we don't know the power we have, because if we knew how powerful we could be, we could change our communities right away. But that would take the power away from those who've controlled us for so long. Mm-hmm. Prince George's County is 80% Black. Our U.S. Senator, our U.S. Congressman are white. Our Chief of Police, our Chief of the Fire Department, the Senior State Senate, all white. The Superintendent of our school system, white. You had 80% of the most educated black people in the world,
Wow.
but black people are in charge of our own. And we wonder why our interests are being met.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for us to step up and stop blaming everyone else. It ain't Trump's fault because we've been messed up long before he came in office.
That's true.
It ain't Hogan's fault. We've been long before that. It's our fault. It's our time to reclaim
this
our
thinking.
community.
And
I
take
love your thinking.
responsibility
Yes,
for ourselves.
Real quick,
Love
it's
it.
almost time for us to wrap it up, but I have a question. If you had to tell the world what makes Everett Browning Sr. the right candidate to run for?
My biggest thing is accountability. You will always be able to find me, and you will know where I stand. You might not always agree with where I stand, but you will not have to question where I stand. And I will always be available. Accountability and integrity, it starts right there. So my website is www.electbrowning.com. Elect Browning on Facebook and on Twitter. Reach out to me and give me the opportunity to earn your respect and earn your vote. And most importantly, give me the opportunity to get involved with you and work with you.
I like that. You made this interview
When I
easy.
tell you this was, I love it. And we need, and let me say something. We got to get you back. We got to get you back. We got to give you a little more time.
Thank you.
And the reason I say this is because the things you're saying are important to me in this community. I believe in my people. I believe in people in general.
Yes.
But I definitely, they say, why are you always on this black people, this black? I am black, and I do have a consciousness for my people, and we are the ones in trouble right now.
Yes.
Unfortunately, my people are in trouble. And so I'm trying to help. So anything that I can do, anytime we can lend a platform to you, sir, this is a platform that you can have.
We're going to get the shirts too. He has some stuff coming up. Tell him
Everything
about
that we
what's
can
going on.
use.
Yeah, we got several events coming up. You can go to the website. We have a fundraiser coming up on the 18th of this month, Prince George's County at Keller Williams Preferred Properties. My birthday is Halloween, funny enough, so we're having a birthday bash the 28th at the Marlow Station golf course, which is only on a black golf course in the area. Yeah, so for me, it's all about supporting black businesses, getting behind them and getting involved. And like you say, brother, whether you in business and politics, we have to stop being apologetic about being black. We're so afraid if we talk about being proud of ourselves that somehow we're going to be pushed out.
Or we have to make apologies
for everything that happens.
And we really don't have to do that because it's no discredit to anybody else's race when you're proud of who you are. We're just trying to get ourselves out of the hole. We in a hole.
This is our community.
We've been designed to be put in a hole, and so it's only right that we talk about getting out.
Yeah, we have a vote. You have to vote. Our voting numbers are so low. So when you go out, you talk to your people, ask them, are they registered to vote? When you guys have parties, let me know. I will bring people out to register people to vote at the front door. We got to get people registered to vote. That's the only way we're going to have a voice.
Gotcha.
I agree.
Well, I feel like he should just wrap the show up.
So on that note, we're gonna start calling him Senator, right? It's gonna be Senator. Right. This is the next Senator. We're gonna call him Senator Browning. He cares about the community. He cares about the people at large. So that's something that we haven't had in a while. We definitely embrace it. We need it. It's necessary. So you guys get out and vote. We're gonna have him back on, of course. This is necessary.
And we'll put your contact information on our website.
Thank you.
Yes, and also you guys make sure you like our page, Spotlight Over the City page, and you can go there and we'll have more information on that page as well.
Spotlight Over the City.
So on that note, you guys, we got to wrap it up. We getting kicked out the building. Spotlight Over the City. Love hard, live good, God first.
Thursday, 7 o'clock.
Spotlight Over the City.
I put the spotlight on your city. I put the spotlight on your city. See the superstars. Hollywood to Hollywood. Girl, you look good. Yeah, they hollering, baby. A key model.